111 test matches, winner of the ODI World Cup in 2015 and 2023, high scorer for Australia in 2019 and 2023, almost 7,000 ODI runs, incredible test match record. David Warner will leave behind a legacy that will be difficult to match. Feisty, determined, passionate, committed, David Warner has been an absolute trailblazer. Every time people written him off, he came back and showed that everything was possible. Every time people challenged him and said he was not good enough, he proved that he was. Yes, there were controversies. For someone as committed and determined, it is part of life. But the controversies do not define him. His achievements do. A family man, the impact of Candice Warner can never be underestimated. And now the Warner sisters are a phenomenon by themselves. As he plays his last test match at the SCG, the announcement that he will not play ODI cricket but could be available for the Champions Trophy has left cricket poorer. Yes, he will play the T20 leagues and of course the IPL, so we will all see him in India in 2 months' time. But may we say that David Warner has enriched cricket by everything that he has done in the last decade and more. Yes, there is Sandpaper Gate, and that's proof that he is not perfect, but imperfect is the new perfect. He sought perfection in an imperfect day, and in doing so has raised the bar. He is a mortal who has turned himself immortal in the legions and pantheon of world cricket. Go well, mate. Have a great farewell and happy retirement.
It's about just being resilient. I think I've had a very good upbringing with my parents, and I grew up in housing commission. So for me, I had to work from a young age. I've been taught how to be resilient from a young age, and there's some great stories out there through very highly successful people who have come through the same thing. So for me, it's all about embracing the fact that I'm going to fail, but how am I going to overcome failure? Just do what I normally do. Back myself, have a clear mind, go out there, commit to 100% to what I can do. If it comes off, it comes off, but I'm prepared to fail. So if you're prepared to fail, you will succeed. There's no doubt about it.
Welcome to RevSportz and Happy New Year to everyone. When we look back on 2023, it's been a great year for sports, and we hope 2024 will be greater. But today, we will be all about celebrating Indian athletes and looking forward to a blockbuster 2024 because it's a year filled with sporting action. Before we get to that, let me introduce my guests, Shubhayan Chakrabarti, who's joining from South Africa, Trisha Ghoshal, Boria Mujumdar, Debashish Sen, and Bharat Ramraj. First of all, to begin with, we should start with the ongoing series, India Women against Australia Women. Indian women's cricket started with a bang with the Under-19 World Cup and the WPL, but did it also end with a bang? Trisha, why don't you start?
Well, it started off with a bang, but of course, white ball Indian cricket has been a problem for over the years now, and it remains so against Australia. I think even they should have been confident enough after the test matches, consecutive wins, but obviously, as we saw in the white ball, it didn't translate. There were too many unnecessary, I would say, unnecessary decisions taken, and certain players who are supposed to perform obviously didn't perform. Yes, in the second ODI, Shafali was dropped, but Harman still remains a huge problem in the batting order. It's quite funny actually that both the captains, Elisa Healy and Harmanpreet Kaur, have barely have had any impact in the series. And unfortunately, it goes for both the things that they do. Neither did they have any impact as captains, nor did they have any impacts as batters. So it's extremely unfortunate that we still have the similar problems that we began with Gargi, in this year. We did not we did not pick up anything from the under-19 books, I would say.
Boria, your thoughts?
The difference in what Trisha said, I mean, just to sort of take it from there, Alyssa Healy has a team that even if she doesn't perform, the team is good enough not to really bother, and the impact will be less. Unfortunately for India, Harmanpreet Kaur is a very important player. India doesn't have the same resources as Australia. So Harmanpreet Kaur, okay, doesn't perform, India goes on to win, doesn't happen. Yesterday, 75 odd runs at that point in time, Harmanpreet Kaur put the pressure back on the batters and got out, and we saw what happened. That's where it's becoming a problem. Consistently inconsistent is what the story of Indian women's cricket is. Off the field, WPL was a huge success. Look at the auction, all of us were together, people getting a couple of crores, the Kashvi Gautams, the Vrinda Dineshes of the world. But you've got to translate that into success on the field. Women's cricket needs its 1983 moment, the 2011 moment. We haven't got it. And unless you get it, you can't push your thing through. So I just hope that with the World Cup coming, with multiple series coming, right? This series, I mean, start of the new year, you have three T20s against Australia after that inconsequential ODI. And now every rubber is important. So why not start with a series win, because you have a World T20 coming up later this year. So huge year for the Indian women's game. But so far, Trisha was spot on. We need way more than what we've got from our captain.
Bharat, what has been your impression?
See, the thing is with Indian women's team, first of all, the basics don't seem to be good enough. For example, they dropped 7 catches, I guess, in the last game. And
Yes.
also, if you look at running between the wickets, there as well, they missed enough runs. So the basics, they keep repeating the same mistakes. I can go back to some Asia Cup in some 2017. They dropped catches there. They dropped catches right back. You won 2016 T20 World Cup. They have been doing that for 6-7 years, and certain things don't seem to change. So if they got the basics right, even in relation to how they were at 171 for 3, they were 218 for 4, and then they lost their way in that collapse. So these things they keep repeating every single game in limit overs cricket. Somehow it feels like currently Indian women's team is very good in Test cricket, but the other two formats they don't seem to get the basics right. So first of all, they have to get the basics right, then they might start winning.
Yes, and Shubhayan, when we come to men's cricket, that World Cup loss, following, that test loss, the Boxing Day test loss against South Africa, you were there for both of those moments. Talk about that, reflect on, what the year has been for men's cricket.
It has been a mixed year. It has been a mixed year because we have seen some phenomenal performances from the Indian team, but at the crucial junctures, the story has been the same. It's like different year, but same story. Yeah. So what I was saying, it has been a mixed year for the men's cricket team. We have had some phenomenal performances, but at those crucial junctures, the story has been the same. It's just the same story, but different year. Unless we win an ICC trophy, the women's team, under 19 team did extremely well. So we have to take the leave out of that. The men's senior team needs to take a leave out of that and win those crucial moments. World Test Championship final, ODI World Cup final, great match in Centurion, which the India team should have won probably given the experience and the mold of the team. But they are somehow choking in those different in those crucial junctures. So we have seen some great records broken in bilateral series, but does that really matter? Is what I'm asking. So yes, the year 2024, the India team has the opportunity to start it on a perfect note by winning the Cape Town Test, and of course there's a big T20 World Cup coming. There's a big England series at home coming, and of course the year will end with the Australia Test series. So there are plenty of opportunities for the Indian team to redeem themselves. But the year 2024 will be the year of fresh stars, new blood coming into the main mixture. So looking forward to that. But if you have to ask me about the 2023 year, a really mixed year in my opinion.
Well said. But Shubhayan, you have a very important flight to catch. So thank you for joining. And then
Thank you
now
guys.
we'll go to Debashish. What has been your impression of 2023 for men's cricket?
Yeah, obviously it has been as Shubhayan mentioned, it has been a mixed back for India. But then we have been bilateral giants. Means when it comes to playing series at home, we have done tremendously well. But when it comes to winning matches abroad, we have messed it up altogether. Means be it a World Test Championship final, be it the Boxing Day Test. So much of hype was there for the Boxing Day Test against South Africa. Means billed as we are the best team, we have all the ammunition, we have all the firepower. But what we ended up losing in 3 days, and that doesn't is not a good advertisement for Test cricket as far as Indian team is concerned. And so the new year, obviously, it's going to be a very serious challenge because our track record in Newlands is not that great. Means we have not yet won a Test match in Cape Town, and we, given the form South African, yes, they would be missing the absence of Rukwodze, but still they have a very potent bowling attack. So the Indian batters will once again be tested. Yes, as was seen yesterday on Saturday during the Indian team net session, Rohit Sharma spending almost 45 minutes with Mukesh Sharma. Means obviously things won't be easy. Things won't be easy. They will have an uphill task. Means when and they have themselves to prove a point. Means obviously the next series against England, we might end up winning the series 5-0. We might ending because it's going to be a Turner, a ranked Turner, and we will be over England everywhere. Means, and we'll go on to win 5-0. But the real test for India will be to win this test match in South Africa. That is going to be the real test and real challenge. Means if do we really have it in him? What is the likes of Yashasvi Jaiswal or a Shubman Gill? Means who are billed as the next generation cricketers. Means obviously Ajinkya Rahane with the absence of Ajinkya Rahane and Cheteshwar Pujara, we have the new generation of cricketers. Means they have to come up, they have to make a statement by putting up a good show. Whether they can, it's going to be tested on that New Year's test starting from January 3rd. Gargi.
Yes, and Bharat, what has been your highlight of the year when it comes to men's cricket?
From India's point of view, uh, India's point of view, there's not much. I said, so it's already been said that at crucial moments, India have not really come good. So that maybe from India's point of view, it would be that Asia Cup final that I watched from the stadium where Mohammad Siraj bowled that brilliant spell. Got the ball to swing, bowled a lot of wobble seam, 3-4 seam, and ripped through Sri Lanka. I think that's one of the best spells I've seen from an Indian bowler in limited cricket for the last 2 years. I think that would be one of the real highlights. And other than that, Shubman Gill obviously scoring that double, and obviously Virat Kohli's 50th ODI, and that has to be mentioned. These are the individual highlights, but team highlights, I don't think there is much to talk about because the big tournaments, the World Test Championship final, the World Cup final, or the Boxing Day Test, India just couldn't get it right.
Yes, and Boria, 2023, that World Cup loss, but now it's time to look forward to 2024 with the T20 World Cup. Talk about that.
Absolutely. I mean, another big year. You've got the World Cup in the US and the Caribbean. You need an ICC trophy. Both Devashish, I've very rarely seen Devashish as agitated as that. I mean, he clearly was pumped up. And that's what the common sentiment of the Indian cricket fan. And then Bharat was very right when he said that not much home to write home about in the big matches, Boxing Day, World Cup final, World Test Championship final. Look, you can't just win bilateral contests and say, oh, we are the greatest team. You can't. Unfortunately, that is not going to happen. Look at Australia, World Test Championship winners, again, home winners, World Cup winners. Everything they had won, everything. And that's what India should aspire to as the financial powerhouse of world cricket. So 2024, all of us are looking forward big time to that T20 World Cup. Hopefully, the ICC trophy jinx will go and India will eventually get that trophy home. 2 points. Are we going for big names? When I see an Andrew McDonald, I mean, come on, Andrew McDonald is no Rahul Dravid. Rahul Dravid, the batter, do we expect the same performance from Rahul Dravid, the coach? We just extrapolate someone's stature as a player and say, okay, because Rahul Dravid is the greatest batter, will he be the same coach? Maybe not. So, again, it will be interesting to see what team you field. Do you go with the Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, that combination? Do you go with youngsters? It shouldn't be about entitlement. It should be on form. If Rohit and Virat display the same form, yes. If they don't, then no. So these are key decisions that the Indian cricket team needs to take. And frankly, unless you win an ICC trophy or big series, Australia, South Africa, you are not the best team in the world. Face it.
Trisha, your thoughts?
Well, I think again with the Indian men's team also, it has been all the crunch situations where you have not got over the line. This is men's cricket and women's cricket for me is two different sport, but one thing remains common in both the sport, that somehow when it comes to that finishing line, we somehow can't get over that finishing line. We reach that, we do all the hard work, and then we get stuck. That has to change in 2024 because it's a big year, for both men's team and women's team. And with the T20 World Cup coming up, it's not only about winning the cup. Yes, one thing is, of course, the glory part. The other thing is you have players, you have money, you have infrastructure, you have everything, yet you don't have a silverware. So the resultant is, the results are not showing great. And after the World Cup win, to be very honest, as a cricket fan, I had genuinely thought that if India does well in South Africa, that would be a little bit of a consolation prize. But my problem was not only that we didn't do well; it's also Gargi about how badly did we do. We kind of surrendered. That's my problem. The whole thing, it looked like we had absolutely no zing in our performance. That X factor has to be back, and we have to really do well in West Indies and US. And I hope the team is thinking ahead, and the team has already got their squad roughly. And I completely second what Boria said. I think it's time we don't look at big names. They have done enough for the for the team, and it's no disrespect, but whoever fits your best 11 should be there.
Absolutely. And while Shubhayan is in South Africa, he had some time to visit some lions at the Lion Park. Take a look. RevSportz decided to award Samra the Female Athlete of the Year award. Talk about her achievements, talk about how she was chosen for this award.
People were like a little surprised why Sift Samra and why not an established name, and that's what it is all about. That you follow your sport closely. A Sift Samra got a world record in the 50-meter three position, 469.6, beating China in China by more than 2.5 points. Made it to the Olympics, got the Olympics quota, made it to the Olympics, got the yeah, I must qualify this. She also has to go through a trial in May, because only after the trial will she get her Olympic ticket. But she's got the quota for the country, won the nationals with ease. Look at the way Sift Samra is shooting. Every competition that she's shooting, she's winning, and winning hands down. The impact she's had on a sport, in a discipline where India has never done well, 50-meter three position. When is the last time India did really well in a 50-meter three position thing at an Asian level or Olympic level? In every sense, I think she's the breakout athlete. That's what all of us thought here at RevSportz. The competition was intense. Nikhat Zareen, world champion. Sheetal Devi, again, very, very close. We have all celebrated Sheetal Devi, but please celebrate Sheetal Devi for her achievements, not as an act of charity or sympathy. She doesn't need that. Empathy, yes, not sympathy. Please. Sheetal Devi is an outstanding archer. Let's celebrate that. And Jyoti Surekha Vennam. So the competition was intense. Tita Shadhu from among the women's team, the under-19 World Cup winning team. But we decided to go in for someone who has shown incredible promise and has won every level at the world level, every competition that there is to win. That's why our choice was Sift Kaur Samra. And at the same time, what she said to us, that she thinks that, yes, 2023, she's our athlete of the year, but she also wants to win it in 2024, which can only happen if she gets an Olympic medal, and a different color Olympic medal than what we've had in the past from shooting. So fingers crossed.
Well, RevSportz Female Athlete of the Year award was backed by Satvik Chirag. Trisha, you were at the Asian Games. Talk about the year that the duo have had.
I think Satvik Chirag, completely deserved the award, taking nothing away from all our nominations. But of course, I think, Satvik and Chirag are made of something else. The way they play, the way they come out, they love the pressure. Rohan and I were there at Asian Games. When you have a hall full of 25,000 people cheering against you, to be that high in spirits against the top seeds. We had the semi-finals were actually tougher than the finals for Satvik and Chirag, because they were against the top duo, but they looked like they were they were playing in some other court. They didn't worry about the opponent and the aggression. They balance each other so well. When you talk about doubles, I think it is also important that balancing each other. Chirag is aggressive. He's like Virat Kohli, and I think in one of our conversations he had actually mentioned that, like Virat Kohli, it keeps him going, and Satvik is calm and composed. The duo brings out that passion every single time they come. They are an inspiration, and the best part is they're hungry for more. I mean, I remember talking to them right after the Asian Games gold. I think this is about all the good or great athletes. Every time you speak to them after they have won something, they're never happy. They're like, yes, one job done, tick,
Want more.
next. Yes, tick, next. Oh, we don't have that medal. Oh, we don't have this. We have to do this. So I remember Satvik said, all this is good, but I hope you will be there in Olympics cheering for us, because yes, I was screaming my lungs out for them, and they heard it. But again, Paris is a big dream for them, and we can only hope that that happens. But it's always fantastic to watch Satvik Chirag play.
Well said,
May I
Trisha.
just quickly add to what Trisha said? I mean, we asked Satvik, so what's the plan for the festive season? And he said, no festival, only festival if you win a tournament. That was his first statement instinctively. I mean, you check the interview, he said, no festival. I said, what do you mean? No, festival is only when we win a tournament. These guys are something else.
Absolutely. And we spoke to both Sift Kaur Samra and the Satvik Chirag duo. Here's what they had to say reflecting back on their year.
माय फादर वांटेड कि मैं डॉक्टर बनूं एंड गेम अच्छी चल रही थी बट जब ये हुआ कि तब मैं टीम में नहीं थी व्हेन आई क्लियर्ड द नीट एग्जाम एंड ऑल द थिंग्स सो आई वाज लाइक ओके दिस इज माय लास्ट नेशनल आई वाज इन जूनियर टीम तो मुझे था ठीक है जूनियर खेल के दिस वुड बी माय लास्ट नेशनल एंड क्योंकि सीनियर में आई वाज इन 13th रैंक तो इट वाज लाइक फार अवे तो ऐसा था कि वो तो कैसे हो सकता है तो बट वो नेशनल सब कुछ चेंज कर दिया मैंने वो नेशनल्स बहुत आराम से खेले ये सोच के कि ठीक है ये तो लास्ट है कि इसके बाद शायद शूटिंग बंद ही हो जाएगी बिकॉज वी ऑल नो कि मेडिसिन स्टडी इज रियली हार्ड सो वो नेशनल्स ने मुझे लगता है मेरा सारा चेंज कर दिया लोग बोलते हैं कोविड उनके लिए ठीक नहीं था बट मेरे लिए कोविड बहुत अच्छा था बिकॉज आई हैड अ प्रॉपर रेस्ट एंड मैंने उस कोविड में बिल्कुल शूटिंग नहीं की सिर्फ पढ़ाई की फिर वॉज मोर लाइक कि ठीक है मुझे ये भी पता है कि हाँ अगर मैं पढ़ूंगी तो मैं पढ़ने में भी निकल जाऊंगी आई क्लियर द नीट एग्जाम एंड द सेकेंड थिंग तब ये हुआ कि भी सीनियर्स में मेरा फर्स्ट था एंड आई मेड अ जूनियर नेशनल रिकॉर्ड एंड सीनियर्स में मेरा हाईएस्ट था नेशनल्स में फ्रॉम वेयर आई फेल्ट कि ओके अगर आप रिलैक्स होकर खेलते हो तो ज्यादा अच्छी शूटिंग चलती है एंड उसके बाद हमारे ट्रायल्स होते हैं देन ऑल्सो आई हैड अ थॉट कि नहीं हो ठीक है एक बार लग गया तो अगली बार बट वो ट्रायल्स हुए नहीं एंड सीधा आई गॉट सिलेक्टेड फॉर द वर्ल्ड कप इजिप्ट तो दैट वाज माय फर्स्ट सीनियर इंटरनेशनल मैच तो फिर वहां से काफी अच्छी जर्नी शुरू हुई कि मेडिकल तो बेचारी पीछे ही रह गई
one step at a time. It all started again from 2022. Then we slowly started playing really well in all the big tournaments, Thomas Cup first, then Commonwealth Games, then World Championship, then again Asian Championship in Dubai, then Asian Games. So it's a process, one step at a time. Now we know how to play in the major tournaments and big tournaments, and we know how to control our pressure and play, give 100% there. So yeah, upcoming 2024 really important for us. I mean, there will be a lot of expectations, but we don't want to think so much. We just want to play the way we are playing till now.
Obviously, there is pressure. I wouldn't say there isn't. Like, I would be lying if I say there isn't any pressure. But I think we always have taken it in a very positive manner. A couple of years back, we would be the one saying there isn't a lot of following for badminton, but now there is. So I don't think we should crib about it. We should take it in a very positive manner that yes, people are following this sport and people want us to win.
You know, it is the start of a very new year, a fresh chapter for Indian sports. But I would like to ask all of you, starting with you, Debashish, what are you looking forward to in 2024?
Yeah, obviously the Paris Olympics is the best thing that we as Indians are all looking forward to, and we all hope that India will at least win more than 10 medals, if not more. Means obviously the biggest bet for me would be Satvik Chirag. Means obviously this here comes someone who we can means epitomize that aggression, the lot of adrenaline rush, means something that we can match the best during the prime days of Leander Paes and Mahesh Bhupathi. We both, me, Trisha, Buryada, were at the Commonwealth Games because I don't cover Olympic sport, but someone who means you could actually admire once you see them. Once you see them, that fist pump, that chest bump, you can actually means you can also get pumped up. Means as fans, means here we have someone. They are real characters. Means I don't watch much Olympics, but here you have someone who we will enjoy watching them because they comes as so much of energy. And see the sports like tennis and badminton, it's all about camaraderie and the understanding between each other, and that is what makes them the best pair. Means in badminton, means obviously they are our best pair, and and we are all looking forward to playing their best. Means obviously we know means like Leander and Mahesh has done the country proud, winning slams after slams, and here we have someone who we are pinning our hopes on. Means obviously I for one would not be surprised if they go on to win a medal at the Paris Games.
And Bharat, what are you looking forward to in 2024? You're on mute.
First of all, Paris Olympics, obviously. India hopefully would win at least 8, 10 medals, more than 7. That's what they won last time. Obviously, there would be, other than Satvik Chirag, there is someone like Neeraj Chopra, obviously, is there. I know Vetter is practicing very hard. He has been down with a shoulder injury for the last 2 years, but he's been practicing very hard. So he's also coming back. So that would be an interesting battle. Outside of Indian sport, I would also look forward to how Mr. Rafael Nadal will play next year. Hopefully, it will be something good from his point of view. I watched a couple of videos. His practice looked good. His forehand looked good. Though today he lost the doubles match, I watched a little bit of it, but it's only doubles match. His net play also looked good, but looking forward to how he plays in the Brisbane Open against Dominic Thiem, and from there, let us see.
Trisha.
So my list is very simple. These are the things that I want.
Okay.
Nadal to win Australian Open, French Open. Rest I don't expect. And I want India, both men's and women's, to win their respective T20 World Cups. PV Sindhu to get a medal, Satvik Chirag to get a medal in Olympics. In short, I want India to win everything that's there in 2024, because that's what we cover the sport for. And even if we don't win, to be very honest, Gargi, I don't want to see India surrender or submit in any of the sport.
Yes.
When it comes to women's cricket, what I would genuinely want is a sense of, I don't know, a sense of responsibility in all the players, starting with the captain, because
Yeah.
just aggression probably is not the only answer. It's pretty weird that Harman is still coming to bat at 5, because when I don't know, initially Harman's favorite position was 4. The whole batting position change. There are a lot of things that we are unnecessarily changing and experimenting all the time. So I would love to see a more structured approach to the game, because honestly, I think we are done enough by saying that, oh, they are new, they'll be better. We have been here. We just need to be more consistent.
Yes. And Boria, what are you looking forward to?
Yeah, I mean, I'll echo what everyone said. 10 medals at the Olympic Games is what will be a breakthrough moment for Indian sport. I expect 35 medals in the Paris Paralympic Games. So 10 medals in the Olympics and 35 medals in the Paralympics, because that's something that's as close to me as an Olympic medal. Because ultimately, it's about inclusivity, about sensitivity, and it's about becoming a better society. That's why sport is what sport is, because it allows us to celebrate human achievement. So that's very, very close to us. I mean, we want that cricket jinx to be broken with the T20 World Cup win. But one knows it's difficult. One knows it's very difficult. But every Olympic medal, irrespective of the color, every Olympic performance needs to be celebrated. Don't just watch cricket. Don't just watch the IPL. Don't say I don't want to watch Test cricket. Don't just watch spectacle. I want Indian sports fans to appreciate sport, because it's human achievement at its very best. Finally, and very, very important, it is about empowerment. Every story of empowerment through sport, our coverage is about that. We stand for that. So, I hope, if you think of what dominated the world in 23, it's war, it's human life. Uh, think of Israel and Palestine, think of everything else. The only breath of fresh air when the world comes together is sport. So my assumption, I hope sport makes a difference through the Olympic Games, through the World Cups, through everything else. It makes a difference. And personally, I'd also love to watch the Euro, because it'll be football at its absolute best. So maybe one last go for some of the stars of our era and our generation. Germany, good venue to go and watch some football. So and purely now wearing my editor hat, I want Bharat to do Olympic sport. I want Trisha to do more Olympic sport with me. I want you to go and cover some cricket outside of India, because that's where your growth is. I want Devashish to also branch out from cricket and do more Olympic sport. Become an eclectic democratic platform that celebrates human achievement, with a promise to all our viewers, every event from on ground. And I'm very proud of this team. Very proud.
Yes, Trisha.
Oriada, if RCB is in the final and if Gujarat Giants is in the final, I'm going.
This has become a this has become a wish list also now. Fine. So Krishna will go Gujarat Giants and RCB. Bharat, you will go what? Kolkata Knight Riders. No, Bharat not Kolkata. Bharat some other team.
No, in 2024, I think it'll be one of the best years for me if both Gujarat Giants and RCB, win the IPL and WPL trophies. Wish
Wow.
me.
Great.
Boriada,
Yeah.
on a serious note, means what is that one thing that baffles me is that with BCCI having so much of money, why don't we have a psychologist? Means for big events, means like for the T20 World Cup, means we have both T20 World Cups next year. So what we have so many support staffs. Means we have a bowling coach, a head coach, a batting coach, a fielding coach, and blah blah blah. So many of them. We have three masseurs, we have three throwdown specialists. Why don't we have a sports psychologist? Because we had a Sandy Gordon during the World Cup in 2003. We had Rudy Webster. So why don't we get a sports psychologist who can? We saw what happened to the girls team. Neeraj Chopra, a small pep talk can do a world of good for this team. There is nothing about ego. Means obviously we want the team to perform to the best. Means one or two minor things can transform the whole body language. Means and see the dominance. Whichever final we have played, it has all been one-sided affair. Be it a World Test
I
Championship.
tend to agree with you. I tend to agree with you. When I look at the Indian men's hockey team in the Asian Games, Paddy Upton made a difference. The women
Yes.
did not have a mental conditioning coach, and only after the Asian Games were they given a mental conditioning coach, which made no sense to me. One would have expected that to happen ahead of the Asian Games. One sees the role of Paddy Upton even during the 2011 World Cup win, Gary Kirsten and Paddy Upton. So, frankly, modern sport, just give everything that you have, put in everything that you have, put in your best foot forward, and then go ask Sharat Kamal, and he will always talk to you about Gayatri Vartak, saying Gayatri has made a fantastic difference to me. Go ask Rohan Bopanna, go ask HS Pranoy. People who had incredible years in 23 will highlight the role of a psychologist, will highlight the role of a mental conditioning coach. By the way, I want this year to be a disruption year. Gargi's done a piece today, and delighted that Gargi took this bold call to do it. Jhulan Goswami as a bowling coach for the men's team. Fabulous. If Amol Mazumdar can be the coach of the women's team, why not Jhulan Goswami? Let's have some out of the box thoughts. Let's break taboos. Let's create a sporting ecosystem that all of us are proud of.
Absolutely. And on that note, like Boria said, sports will win and so will we. So that's it from us for now. We'll stay tuned to RevSportz and Happy New Year.